Good evening, I'm Kofi Mensah and this is Chale News. Tonight, doctors and nurses walk out at KATH simultaneously, leaving hundreds stranded. A former Maslock CEO lands in Accra in handcuffs after a decade on the run. The Black Stars are scrambling for money days before the World Cup. And Ghana had a flood plan since 2017. Nobody used it. Let's get into it. We've been watching Ghana's health worker payroll crisis closely, and today it boiled over. Doctors and nurses at Komfo Enoki Teaching Hospital have walked out at the same time. KATH, Ghana's second largest referral hospital, the main specialist centre for the entire Ashanti region. Hundreds of patients were stranded outside wards. The cause hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but the timing tells you everything. Full breakdown on Chale.news. The Tema motorway tanker fire, the one from this morning, has been fully extinguished. Ghana National Fire Service confirmed deaths from the collision between a fuel tanker and a tipper truck. No fatality count released yet. Investigation is ongoing. We'll update you as numbers come in. Sinkwafokrom said goodbye today. 2 toddlers, 3 to 5 years old, buried after their school bus fell into the Kotwea River on June 2nd. Hundreds came out to mourn. The driver faces court on June 12th. These were babies. Let that sit. Here's a sentence I did not expect to write today. Sedina Tamaklo-Ationu touched down in Accra this afternoon, extradited from the United States to begin a 10-year prison sentence. The former Maslock CEO misappropriated over 1.7 million Ghanaian cedis in public funds. The case was filed nearly a decade ago. She fled. She was found. She's home. Ghana's anti-corruption prosecutions are finally showing teeth. Now this one is alarming. 2 NPP-aligned TikTokers, Fante Comedy and Yera Abiwu, were discharged by the Accra Circuit Court today. And the moment they stepped outside, police rearrested them and drove them straight to CID headquarters. No explanation given. Their own party's communicator called it a rights violation. A court says free them. Police say no. That's a problem. A citizen, Dr. Yortwerfor, has dragged the government to the Supreme Court to stop MPs from receiving District Assembly's Common Fund money. The Constitution reserves that fund for local assemblies, not Parliament. He wants an audit of all past payments and a freeze on future ones. Bold move. Court will have to decide. On the money side, Ghana missed its Q1 2026 revenue target by 2.7 billion Ghanaian cedis. Collected 57.53 billion Ghanaian cedis against projections. And here's the part that needs explaining. The abolished COVID-19 levy is still showing up in the books. The government will need answers at July's mid-year budget review. Watch that space. Ghana had a plan. A 40-year development plan finalized in 2017 that identified the exact interventions needed to prevent Accra's flooding. A former head of the National Development Planning Commission says it was simply abandoned. The Ghana Infrastructure Plan was only relaunched in October 2025. While people's homes were flooding, while lives were lost. The plan existed. Nobody used it. The US military fired on an oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman today, the M/T Maravex, hitting its engine room and bridge after it allegedly headed toward Iran in breach of America's blockade. 24 Indian crew members are safe, but the Strait of Hormuz, which carries 20% of global oil trade, remains disrupted. Fuel prices at the pump here. Watch them closely. French President Emmanuel Macron will address Ghana's Next Steps conference on reparatory justice in Accra. President Mahama is hosting. This comes weeks after Ghana led a successful UN resolution recognizing transatlantic enslavement as the gravest crime against humanity. Ghana is setting the global agenda on this, and the world is listening. The Black Stars situation. Days before the World Cup and the Finance Ministry still hasn't released approved tournament funds. The team had to abandon their Boston base for Virginia because of it. Analyst Ibo Appiah is already saying 2014. If someone doesn't release that money fast, we'll be watching the tournament from the wrong end of the table again. Full story on Chale.news. On top of the funding crisis, England's FA is apparently playing mind games ahead of the June 23rd World Cup clash in Boston. Reports suggest English players may refuse to shake Thomas Partey's hand before kickoff. The GFA has called it out publicly. Partey maintains his innocence on all 7 charges. Ghana doesn't need this distraction right now, not even a little. Ian Wright called it a World Cup of chaos, and it's hard to argue. Africa's top referee Omar Abdulkadir from Somalia was denied entry into the United States. He joins a growing list of fans, officials and players turned away. Ghana faces Argentina in Atlanta on June 21st. Our people need to get in. Kumawood has lost one of its own. Davida Germain, beloved for her comic roles alongside Lil Win, has reportedly died at 39. No official cause confirmed yet. 39. Way too soon. Rest well. We'll end on something to smile about. Chef Nairaba Zulaiha of Accra has completed a 192-hour cookathon at Medina Zongo AstroTurf, blowing past the Guinness World Record benchmark of under 120 hours. Verification is pending, but Chale, 8 full days at the stove. Ghana, we've got range. That's your evening digest. I'm Kofi Mensah. Every story we covered tonight and more is waiting for you at Chale.news. Stay informed, stay sharp. Good night.